Hello dear students, how are you? I hope you would be good at your home, and this is the first video of history series, and I am going to start the first chapter, a period of transition. Okay, let's start. Our first chapter name is a period of transition. Transition means a change from one state to another. It's the movement from one period to another period. As you know that the history is classified into three parts: ancient history, middle history and modern history. In 6th class we have studied about the ancient history. In 7th class we have studied about the middle history, and now in 8th class we have to study about the modern history. And our first main topic is the study of modern period. It is considered easier to obtain the sources of modern period than in ancient period, and these sources provide us the valuable information about social, political, economic and cultural development and condition of India during British rule. And these sources of study, these study sources we can divide into two parts. First, primary sources, and second, secondary sources. Now, primary sources. The first point is the administrative records. It consists of the written records of various meetings, policies, events, incidents and plans which were maintained by British officials. Many archives and museums were also built for preserving this record. Second point is archaeological sources. Many monuments, buildings were also built by Britishers, such as the Gateway of India, Victoria's Terminus, Parliament House and Rashtrapati Bhavan. And these all archaeological sources provide us the valuable information for us about the art and architecture of British rule. You can see the picture. And the third point is surveys. The many surveys were conducted by the British officials to know the information about people, landscape and topography of different presidencies, and this proved to be the very accurate source of information, and as well as this survey show the picture of the effective administration during British rule. And next point is legal document. Many legal documents related to criminal and civil law were maintained by Britishers, and these document, even now these documents are preserved the India Office record in London, which are the helpful to get the information about justice system during British rule. And next point is diaries and accounts of travelers. Many travelers, traders and missionaries and British civil servants visited to India. They wrote many books and composed many publications. These all things are and these all things proved to be a useful source of information for us, but we can't completely trust them. And the next point is eyewitness account. Whatever information we got from the freedom fighters, those who were involved in the India's freedom war at that time. And this eyewitness account provide us the valuable information of the British rule, and these accounts are available at the British Library in London. Now, secondary sources. First point is books, newspaper, magazines, letters and pamphlets. When the printing press was invented, then newspaper, magazine, letter, pamphlets became the popular means of communication, and these means of communication made the people aware against the policy of Britishers, and many freedom fighters used it as a platform to against the Britishers. And do you know, students, what was the first published newspaper in India? Yes, is written here. This Bengal Gazette was published in Kolkata in 1780, and it was started by James Augustus Hickey. This is the picture of James Augustus Hickey and the picture of the Bengal Gazette. And there were the vernacular newspapers. The vernacular newspaper means local language newspapers were published at that time, such as Marathi newspaper was published in Maharashtra, Punjabi newspaper was published in Punjab, and the Bengali newspaper was published in West Bengal. And these newspapers were strongly patriotic, and the freedom fighter used them as a platform to fight against British. Our next point is reports and reviews. It conceals the various policies, reforms and laws which were introduced by Britishers, and these written records helped the British Crown to review these policies and make changes with time. And these all written records and policies proved to be us as a good source of information for us, and the various policies were also composed by them. Next point is films and photographs. The historian also used photographs and films to reconstruct the Indian history, and these sources it also proved to be useful sources for us. Okay, our next main topic is transition from medieval to modern age. Listen students, this is very important topic for upcoming topics and chapters. So please listen carefully, and I am going to be explain this chapter, this topic in my own language. Please listen carefully. In this simple language, we can say that the movement from medieval period to modern period in European history, as we know that the ancient civilization of Rome and Greece are known for their rich culture and tradition, and this civilization opened a path to the foundation of European culture. When Roman Empire was declined, then Europe entered in medieval period. Yes, with the fall of Roman Empire, the European country, a European society, moved moved in a medieval period. According to the historian, European medieval history is not considered much good for common people, because common Europeans were not satisfied, and they wanted positive change in their life and society. And one of the main reasons for this dissatisfaction was feudalism. Yes, feudalism is the main point of this topic, which was the main feature of medieval period of Europe. Feudalism was a system which existed in Middle Age, in which people received land and protection from a lord when they worked and fought for him. In a simple language, European culture had become completely exploited at that time due to this feudal system. And this feudalism proved to be a major obstacle in the path of social cultural development of Europe. And Europe had lost its intellectual vibrancy and much of the older tradition of culture due to this feudalism. Catholic Christian Church became sovereign of learning and education, and as well as the main center point of politics of Europe, and they promoted blind religious faith and superstition in society. But it is said that time is not constant. It is always changed, and the same happened at the time. Gradually, a new type of social system began to emerge in Europe and marked the beginning of modern age. And one of the first development that marked the beginning of the modern age was Renaissance. With the disintegration of feudal system, so now Renaissance. The term Renaissance is French word which means rebirth, and we can also different words for the Renaissance, just like rebirth, revival, restoration also there. Renaissance was the period of new growth and interest and activity in the areas of art, literature and ideas in Europe. There are many changes were appeared in this field, in the field of art, literature, religion, architecture, philosophy, science and politics during Renaissance. Italy is considered the birthplace of Renaissance, and later it spread to France, England, Germany and any other parts of Europe. During this period, many revolutionary changes and new discoveries began in Europe, which rapidly changed the mindset of people there, and thus came the end of medieval era of Europe and new era was started, which is called the modern period of history. Now, next point is spread of Renaissance, and now I will tell you that how did it spread in whole Europe and how did Europe become prosperous. I told you that Italy was the birthplace of Renaissance and gradually it spread to many parts of Europe such as Venice, Florence, Milan and Genoa became the rich and prosperous center of Europe. In simple language, we can say that in the field of art and architecture, amazingly grown up during this period, and this development and growth became source of prosperity and economic certainty. Many artists, scholars, philosophers, scientists contributed to development and growth in the field of European classical art, architecture, philosophy, and literature. Now I will tell you about the decline of entire Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was divided into two parts in medieval period, the Western Roman Empire and Eastern Roman Empire. Firstly, the Western Roman Empire declined in 476 CE during civil war, and this fall became the main cause of decline of entire Roman Empire. Now we move to the Eastern Roman Empire. The Eastern Roman Empire was more developed than Western. Constantinople was the capital of Eastern Roman Empire. This Constantinople we have studied about this in seventh class. Constantine, the great Roman emperor, who was the great follower of Christianity, and this Constantinople, the capital city, was established by this king Constantine, and the Eastern Roman Empire capital city in Eastern Roman Empire, and it emerged as the new center of learning and intellectual activities. After about 1000 years in 1453 CE, Ottoman Turks invaded and captured it. In present, this Constantinople is known as the Istanbul city, which is in Turkey. After the decline of Roman Empire, a large number of scholars, artists, scientists from Greece escaped to Rome and other European countries, and Italy welcomed these learned persons and scholars and played a significant role in reviving classical learning in Europe. So student, this calls an end to this video, and let's meet in another video with some upcoming topics. Study and stay at your home.